Mason will be talking about the LLM in legal practice. If you already have some legal credentials and you want to boost your career prospects, this is definitely the quickest and one of the cheapest ways of doing so. So those are the four great parts we're going to be talking about today. As I mentioned, most students start at the introductory level, the certificate in legal studies. Very popular starting point. And I'd like to introduce my colleague, Dr. Thomas, who will just briefly explain why this might be the right course for you. Thomas, take it away, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Just before I talk about certificate in legal studies, I just want to emphasize, why you might want to choose Hong Kong U SPACE. I mean, I know there are a lot of, institutions out there that has different law programs, but the fact is that Hong Kong U SPACE has been around for 60 years. So we've been around for a long, long time. We have a reputation to match. So one thing is that we offer high quality law programs, and this has been proven time and time again, just by the kind of students that has, exited the program. For example, we have law partners, we have judges, we have CEOs, we have many different people from all walks of life having gone through our program. So we're going to talk about the certificate and diploma in legal studies. This is what we call an entry-level course. This is really designed for students, either one, they have no background in law and are thinking about studying law for the very first time, or perhaps they are, people who are of a professional background already, but they don't necessarily want to become lawyers. All right? So maybe they need law in a job, in their profession, for your professional life, etc. And just to describe the certificate and diploma in legal studies. Certificate is basically the first year, is about 12 months, but you can finish as quickly as 9 months. It's 5 key law areas. And we've been running this program for more than 30 years now, so for a long, long time. And we have had a lot of students, some of whom are very successful today. And the best feature about this course is open entry. Open entry means that anyone can join. There's no GMAT test, no IELTS test, no different requirements. If you want to enroll, you can. 2, it is very, very affordable. The starting price point is about $20,000 Hong Kong for what we call the general stream. So a very affordable program. Plus this course is listed on the CEF list of reimbursable programs. And it's the easiest way to start your law journey. All right? This is a foundational introductory course. It's very much designed and catered towards students who have to work, who have a full-time job. And the best thing is that you can become a paralegal, which is an assistant to a lawyer, or a legal executive, another type of assistant to a lawyer. All right? But to become a legal executive, you need to be in the professional stream, which I'll talk more about in a moment. And if you decide that you love law so much and you want to go on to more advanced programs in law, if you finish the diploma in legal studies, you guarantee a place on the LL.B. If you finish, the diploma and go on to complete the advanced diploma, and if you get a distinction, you also guarantee a place on a very popular CPE program, the Graduate Diploma in English and Hong Kong Law. So let me talk about the certificate in legal studies. It's basically 5 core law modules. All right? So the first one is Hong Kong legal systems, a basic introduction to what the Hong Kong legal system is about, the common law legal system, how do we make the law, etc., etc. And then we have very important contract and torts. I think everyone makes a contract every single day, right? Whether you're buying something small like a drink or an apartment. This involves contract law. And torts is about harm being done to someone, right? And we have other important subjects like business associations, which is company law, civil procedure, what happens if you're sued, what happens if you sue someone, and of course the most important law in Hong Kong basic law, the constitutional law of Hong Kong. And for most students who finish our certificate, they do decide to go on to the diploma. You don't have to, but a lot of students do go on to the diploma. Another 5 important law subjects: criminal law, murder, arson, theft, land law and conveyancing, all right, buying and selling property in Hong Kong. But not only that, we talk about easements, leases, mortgages, etc., etc. Family law, right, marriages, divorce, custody of children, and succession, probate, what happens to your property, when you pass away, and of course, very important, the mainland legal system, which is very different from the common law system we have in Hong Kong. Not only will we teach you what we call black letter law, we also teach you very important legal skills. Like, for example, legal writing. Legal writing is very different from, drafting an email or blog, right? Requires a special set of skills. Legal research. Even though we teach you 5 important areas of law, there are some things we can't teach you, right? And the law is constantly evolving. So legal research is very important. And lastly, legal thinking. Every profession has a different mindset. Lawyers think differently from accountants. We think differently from engineers. So legal thinking is very important. And I know that a lot of students are concerned about whether they're going to pass or not. I know on a lot of different forums, people talk about law as being very difficult, very hard. But the fact is that the pass rate for the certificate and diploma is 80 to 90%. All right? So it's a very, very high pass rate. All right? So 1 exam, 1 assignment, and we have revision classes and materials to help you make sure you do your very best. And once again, historically, 80 to 90% pass rate. All our teachers, right? All our teachers have very impressive legal experience and very impressive legal background, right? So most of them are barristers and solicitors, and they are in a law firm during the day, or they're in chambers, and they come and teach you at night. Right? And not only that, for our program, all the legal textbooks are included, right? All the legal textbooks are included, so you have the course manuals provided for you. Okay? And we have Hong Kong U law resources. For example, once you're a student, you can access the law library, the main library at Hong Kong U. You can use their legal databases, LexisNexis, Westlaw, etc. All right. And it's designed for working students. We know you work. We know that you have a personal life. So we designed this so you only have 1 or 2 classes a week. All right. So it depends on the intake. Either during the weekdays at 7 p.m. or on a Saturday afternoon, like right now. And unlike any other program that I know of, you have a choice of exams. All right? So if you want to take the exams in June, that's fantastic. If you can't, take the exams in August, October, or even spread them out. Take 1 exam in June, 2 exams in October, etc. It's up to you. And as I said to you before, most students complete within 12 months. There are 2 options available, all right? So one option is what we call the general stream. For the general stream is a more affordable alternative, right? So about, as I said before, about $20,000 Hong Kong, all right? It's mostly going to be, all right, where possible, at the University of Hong Kong campus, all right? So it depends on the situation in Hong Kong, but most of the time the classes will be held at Hong Kong U, which means the large lecture halls. Or you can choose the professional stream. All right, smaller class sizes, a more intimate environment, and this pathway allows you to eventually get the legal executive title from the Law Society. All right, so, but the professional stream is going to be slightly more expensive, about $30,000 Hong Kong. All right, and remember, this course is listed on the courses under the CF scheme. You haven't claimed your money yet, you can. And please enroll as soon as you can, because enrollment is on a first come, first served basis. This is an extremely popular law program in Hong Kong, and we don't want to disappoint you. All right? So thank you very much. And now we have Simon to talk about the London Llb prep course.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. Okay, right. Now, I'm very happy and pleased to be here this afternoon to introduce to you this very world-renowned program, the London University LL.B program, which actually, literally, it was actually the very first formal legal training in Hong Kong, dating back to 1960s in the colonial time when the colonial government was thinking about whether Hong Kong should have a law school. Should have a law school here in Hong Kong. Now, I don't need to spend too much time on introducing what is the University of London. You know well about this. The brand name is here. Now, what I want to just highlight to you are the several very distinguishing features about this program is its quality and its the prestige it enjoys throughout the world. Now, the quality is very, very high, but at the same time, you don't need to relocate to London to do this program. You can just do it here in Hong Kong with HKU SPACE, which is a recognized teaching center by the University of London. It is both a status as well as a recognition enjoyed by our school. It is accessible in a way that it is fully supported, with the technology, with the virtual environment provided by the University of London, as well as you would have the chance to, if you do that program with us, with HKU SPACE, we provide prep courses. You will also have the chance to enjoy and to benefit from the tuition we will be providing to you, as well as other, learning support. And perhaps I would also like to highlight how this program maintains its academic standard. Actually, the whole program is led by a consortium of colleges within the University of London system. We have UCL, we have King's, we have LSE, we have Queen Mary, SOAS, as well as Birkbeck. A lot of them have been enjoying status as world-leading law schools, plus a few perhaps smaller colleges who are enjoying national reputation in the UK. Now, the LL.B to start with is actually the very fundamental academic stage you need in order to proceed to the next stage. If you are thinking of becoming a lawyer, the next stage would be the professional stage. Now, achieving that very fundamental academic stage after getting the LL.B, you move to the next stage if you are thinking of becoming a lawyer. Now, this LL.B is actually welcomed by a number of common law jurisdictions around the world, let alone Hong Kong. If you want to become a lawyer in Hong Kong, you need a PCLL. Now, that is the legally speaking, that is what you need, the qualification you need to enter into the legal profession. Or you may be thinking of doing, your barrister training or solicitors training in England and Wales. Now, that program, that LL.B award, would allow you to do so. Now, you may be thinking of maybe other jurisdictions, like common law jurisdictions, perhaps what about Canada, etc. Now, we had students before from HKU SPACE, after completing this program with us, could enter, different jurisdictions apart from Hong Kong, doing, they moved to England and Wales, they got admitted in Canada, they could even get admitted in New York or California, okay? Now, that is one of the beauty of this program. It allows you to actually connect to the world, okay, and connect to other common law jurisdictions. Now, how to apply for this program? There are actually 3 administrations you have to bear in mind. First off, the University of London. You have to apply for the program, to the University of London. You don't need to fly over to London to do your application. You just do it here in Hong Kong. Now, HKU SPACE is actually recognized by the university as a recognized teaching institute. At the same time, it also houses the admission office specifically for all the external programs run by the University of London in Hong Kong. You just come to us, okay, in person or do it online. You send email or visit our website to do the application. The second thing is perhaps you may want to get some tuition, face-to-face tuition. You enroll with us, HKU SPACE, for these prep courses. Now, it is important if you are thinking of doing your degree properly, you do need some good tuition and support. Now, we would provide you with the best quality of prep courses we could. And the next thing, apart from registering for our prep courses, I will come back to the details of our prep courses in a minute. And after enrolling on our prep courses, you may think of registering for the examination. Now, the examination is not run by HKU SPACE. It's not run directly by the University of London. But in Hong Kong, it is administered by the Hong Kong Examinations and Assessment Authority. Now, this is a separate enrollment. In a way, it provides you with some flexibility in planning your study. After you finish your perhaps 1 or 2 modules, you may think about, okay, when should I take the examinations? Now, there are actually 2 windows open throughout the years. That gives you some flexibilities in planning your study. That could fit into your other life commitments. Now, you may be interested in knowing what's the entrance requirement, etc. Now, there are actually 2 routes for you to consider. If you do not have a recognized university degree yet, you may think of the standard entry route. The University General entrance requirements apply. That means maybe you are holding a equivalent qualifications, 2 A-levels plus 3 O-levels passes. You may be holding 5 passes in your Hong Kong DSE or equivalent. You may be holding an associate degree. That's fine, no problem. Those qualifications already satisfy the general entrance requirements set by the University of London. There is also a requirement as to English proficiency, IELTS, Cambridge proficiency test, or like Hong Kong DSE, English language, GCSE. Those are all acceptable as your proof, as the proof of your English proficiency. Now, if you are on the standard route, you are required to take 12 modules throughout a maximum period of 6 years, okay? And if you are already holding 1 or more university degree, you may consider the graduate entrance route. Now, that would just require you to do 9 subjects for the whole degree, 9 subjects. Now, these are the subjects you would study in your 6 years, depending on your pace and your plan. all the very, the very fundamental subjects, the very essential aspects of law are all here. 12 if you are on the standard entry route, 12 subjects. If you are on the graduate entry route, 9 subjects, all right? Now, there are also, compulsory modules in it, and there are optional modules in it. When you plan, if you're thinking of your future practice, do be mindful when planning your combination of your optional modules. Examinations, the degree is completely 100% examination-based, 3 hours per paper. There are 2 rounds of examination open throughout the years. It's independent, separate enrollment with the Hong Kong EAA. And you can choose whether you take the examinations in May, June, or in October, okay? So there's a flexibility. Our enrollment now opens for the prep courses. It opens until a prep course commences, all right? Our prep courses won't start at the same date, on the same date or what. We have some flexibility here. And some courses will start earlier, some courses will start later, okay? The earliest commencement of our prep course should be late September, okay? We have a very detailed timetable for you that can be downloaded from our website. You may consult that website as well. Now, for the London program, the application, you should apply and register by the 1st of October. Now, I would talk a little bit about the quality of the Hong Kong U SPACE prep courses. 3 main characteristics. We have a proven history. We have been there for over 55 years. We have a close link partnership with the University of London. All right, we have produced generations of alumni, graduates, holding this qualification who are now, no matter practicing as lawyers, as solicitors or barristers in Hong Kong or in other jurisdictions, or they may be senior civil servants or in other sectors. We have been providing high quality teaching. All the tuition would be delivered by experienced and high-standing academics from the UK major law schools. We have also got impressive performance. Our students performed impressively in the University of London examinations. It is a global kind of examination. So, the tuition is really important to support you to do this public examination. If you want to improve your chance of passing these examinations, it's really important, all right? I can tell, in the past 7 years or so, we have produced 10 first-class honors, okay? There's just a handful of first-class honors every year around the world. But in the past 7 years, we've produced 10 first-class honors. And the majority of our graduates graduate with a second-class honors or above, okay? That is, a really impressive indication of our performance. Now, our prep courses are designed specifically to support you to do the London examinations. All right, these courses are carefully designed. There are basically 4 big components of each of our prep courses. We have main lectures, 36 hours. After the main lectures, we have the so-called tutorials or examination skills, seminars, which will help you to develop your examination skills, to transfer your legal knowledge into some sort of skills that can be used in the examination hall to help you to gain good marks. We also have a component of mock examinations, all right? And at the end, before you go to the formal examination halls, we have the revision lectures, okay, to help you to wrap up the whole thing before you really take the examinations. Now, the study is very flexible. You are given a time frame of 6 years. On the graduate route, the minimum, the minimum period of time you can finish this program would be 2 years. But that is not too advisable, actually. It would be like a really, really demanding kind of plan. So our experience, most of our students actually would finish the program within a 3 or 4 year time frame. But you are actually given a 6 years. You have to finish a whole program within 6 years. If you are on standard route, the minimum period of time would be 3 years. The maximum would be 6 years, okay? The quality of our tuition, from the University of London side, they will provide module guides, which are developed by the consortium of law schools I just mentioned. And we have a highly resourced VLE, the virtual learning environment, where you can have access to different materials, to blogs, to online libraries, etc., all the materials, and live chat with other students studying at the same time. All around the world, you have all those chatting discussion rooms, etc., here built in the VLE. And there's also an inclusive practice policy. If you have some sort of special needs, the University of London will take care of those, and to see how they can support you, through different means, especially the VLE. And from Hong Kong U SPACE side, we will provide you with a foundation in legal studies course. Now, that is a course for any new students joining our program, studying our prep courses for the London examinations. Our tuition is provided by well-known, renowned, experienced teachers from the UK. Many of them are teaching in major UK law schools, and many of them have been teaching with us for over 15 to 20 years. And we have online platform as well. The SOL 2.0 is an online platform developed by SPACE. It's a Moodle-based platform that can further support you, strengthen the whole support for your taking the LL.B. You have access to Hong Kong U Library. We'll give you a library card. If you want to have a borrower's card, you can just give a little bit top-up charge for that as well. And all our classes will take place on Hong Kong U main campus. Of course, in this situation, that is also subject to our school policy of classroom relocation. But we will give you full information well before the start of any of the prep courses. Our impressive performance, students' impressive performances in the past year, our pass rates are well above the regional as well as global averages. In the past year, in the past 7 years, we produced 10 first-class honors LL.B, and many of our alumni are now qualified in Hong Kong, England, Wales, practicing in other jurisdictions as well. In their own words, we have some remarks, commendation from our first-class honors during past years. For example, Calvin Chung, who is actually a practicing medical doctor with the Hong Kong U Medical School. He was saying that, I wish to acknowledge the outstanding quality of teaching provided at Hong Kong U SPACE, without which it would have been impossible for me to get this first-class honors. Now, he was actually saying, highly recommending the tuition, the quality of our tuition. Now, this is Bonnie. Bonnie is a working mom, actually, a civil servant. She got her first-class honors just last year. And she said it was really an enjoyable experience to study at Hong Kong U SPACE because they provided an excellent learning support, and their visiting lecturers are renowned scholars from the UK. So both of them speak highly about our quality of tuition. Just before I wrap up the whole thing, perhaps you may be interested in knowing, what about PCLL alignment, okay, or what about the alignment with the requirements of practicing as a lawyer in England and Wales. Now, largely, the London University LL.B is largely aligned with the PCL admission requirements, except that because it is not a local LL.B, you have to do top-ups, okay, 3 top-ups, Hong Kong land law, Hong Kong constitutional law, and Hong Kong legal system through the admission conversion examinations. There may be 1 or 2 missing competencies as required, and you can take those through the conversion examinations as well, either company law or evidence, if you are on the graduate route, okay, I'm saying, and commercial law, Part C. But if you are on the standard entry route, you just need to take commercial law, Part C, which is a small part of a big curriculum, syllabus, okay? If you are interested, you can visit the Conversion Examination Board. Their website will give you more details. England and Wales, I won't spend too much time on that, but you can visit those websites, the Solicitors Qualifying Examination, as well as the Bar Standards Board. Those will give you the information you need concerning legal practice in England and Wales. A final note, you can apply to the University of London through our office housed under HKU SPACE on the 3rd floor of Admiralty Centre, and enroll on our HKU SPACE prep courses. At the same time, you can do both at the same time, okay, simultaneously. And finally, if you are not thinking of, oh, maybe an LL.B is too much, a little bit too much, I just want to focus on specific aspects of law, for example, commercial law, you may consider the graduate diploma in commercial law, which I'm not going to give a lot of details here today, but you may visit our website. We have a package of prep courses at a very reasonable price. You can visit our website to find more details concerning the graduate diploma in law. Okay. I hope my presentation will be helpful if you are considering the University of London LL.B program. Without further ado, I would just hand over the time to our subject group leader, Danny Gittings, to speak on the graduate diploma in law. Thank you. There you go.
Thank you very much, Simon. As I said at the beginning, at HKU SPACE, we have many great paths to study law. I'm sorry we can't go through all of them today. Please do remember information on all of them are available on our website. Okay? Here we're talking about some of the most popular paths. You heard Dr. Thomas explaining at the beginning, if you want to start off at an introductory level, there's really nothing better than the certificate in legal studies. And just now, my colleague Dr. Simon talking about the world-renowned qualification, University of London LL.B. If you don't have a degree, if you don't have a law degree, you want a law degree from a world-renowned institution, then there's really no choice like the University of London LL.B. And I'd strongly recommend you look at that further. If, on the other hand, you already have a degree and you're not necessarily looking to study all law areas in detail, you just want to cover the most important areas of law. The areas of law you need if you want to go on to become a lawyer, either in Hong Kong or in England and Wales, then there is another choice. And that choice, extremely popular, the graduate diploma in English and Hong Kong law. And please excuse me if I'm biased, but I studied this course myself. And I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for studying this course. So I have first-hand experience of just how useful this course can be. Couple of very important points to note right at the beginning. This is a graduate diploma. This is normally for those of you who already have a university degree. The vast majority of students on this course will already have a university degree. It's a graduate diploma in English and Hong Kong law. Note that. That's why we say there's only one graduate diploma in English and Hong Kong law. There are many courses just called graduate diploma in law. There's something like 20, 30 British universities will offer those. There's even a few others in Hong Kong. But none of them will cover the Hong Kong side. This is the only course that also includes the law you need if you want to qualify as a lawyer in Hong Kong. And that is one of its main attractions. Please also note the enrollment deadline. For the other courses, Dr. Thomas and Dr. Simon were talking about, now they do fill up, so it's still in your interest to apply as early as possible. but there isn't a looming fixed application deadline. For this, there is. In less than a month's time, application deadline passes. Okay? And although a month may seem like a long time, to apply for this course, you will need various documents, including your university transcript, which you may not immediately have to hand. So if you are interested in studying this course, it is really in your interest to submit your application as soon as possible. This is a course, students study this course for many reasons. Look at me, I didn't go on to become a lawyer. I studied this course to advance my career, and now I end up here. Okay? Many others in successful business careers. But a very common reason for studying this course is because you are interested in becoming a lawyer. And if that's your reason, this course really has an excellent track record. You want to become a lawyer in Hong Kong, you need to go through the PCLL. You probably know that's very competitive. We have large numbers of students graduating from this course every year, going on to the PCLL. Some of them even get these government-funded places where they don't have to pay, or they don't have to pay most of their course fees. In fact, there's so many of them at Hong Kong U, they even have their WhatsApp group. They're one of the largest groups on the course. We have thousands of alumni in Hong Kong. This course has been going for 30 years. We have many renowned alumni. We have judges, magistrates, legislative councillors from both sides of them. You can see the pro-government camp, the pro-democracy camp, both sides of the political spectrum. And of course, huge numbers of successful solicitors and barristers. Please go to the course website. You'll see just a selection of our alumni talking about their experiences on the course. The point, of course, is if you join this course, you will be joining a large pool of successful alumni here in Hong Kong. Just briefly looking at what you would study on this course, this is a part-time course. It's a 2-year part-time course. There is an optional 3rd year. Most of our students continue to do that. But when you sign up for this course, you're only signing up initially for 2 years. And the graduate diploma, the qualification I'm talking about now, you can get that after 2 years. You study a mixture of English and Hong Kong law. Remember the course title? Graduate Diploma in English and Hong Kong Law. Other graduate diplomas, they only do the English law. That's important, but that's not enough to be a lawyer in Hong Kong. Look at our Year 1 courses: English legal system, contract, tort, public law, Hong Kong legal system. You won't get Hong Kong legal system on other graduate diplomas in law. You need that if you want to go on to PCLL and become a lawyer in Hong Kong. That's the great advantage of doing this course. It's included in the course. No need to take extra exams after you've finished. Similarly, on Year 2, criminal law, land law, equity and trusts, land law, Hong Kong land law, Hong Kong constitutional law. I'll be teaching you for that last one. Those 2 subjects, again, they are required if you want to go on to the PCLL and be a lawyer in Hong Kong. Take another course, you have to take more exams than them afterwards. Take our course, we include them in the course, and we're recognized in doing so. Remember what I said? 2 years is enough to complete this course. You do the 2 years, you have the graduate diploma in English and Hong Kong law. If you want to go on to study in UK, become a lawyer in UK, that's enough. These 2 years will be enough. You can take that qualification on and go off to solicitors and barristers training courses in the UK. If you're interested in becoming a lawyer in Hong Kong, there are additional requirements before you can go to the PCLL. We have a 3rd year to cover them. That is actually a separate course, okay, which leads you to an LL.B, an LL.B of Manchester Metropolitan University. This course is offered in partnership with Manchester Metropolitan University, who have been here in Hong Kong for 30 years. And there you will cover all of the remaining subjects required for the PCLL. Commercial law, business associations, Hong Kong evidence, and also at the moment civil and criminal procedure are required. Okay, so 2-year course, you can choose to take an additional year, 3 years, you will cover all the subjects required to continue to the PCLL, as many of our students do, and towards legal practice in Hong Kong. Both courses taught in partnership with Manchester Metropolitan University, who are not some newcomers to Hong Kong. They've been here for Hong Kong for 30 years, and they understand the needs of teaching in Hong Kong. Exam results. I'm not going to suggest studying law is easy. You do need to work at it, but you see the results our students get. First year results, 81%. That's already very good, but those who stick around continue on to year 2. Look at the results there, 94%. And those who continue on to the top up, the third year, optional third year, look at that success rate, 98%. Now, of course, I'm sure you're listening to me today, you don't just want to pass. You want to do well. You want to go on to career in law, you need to do well. But again, look at the statistics. Just taking for the final year, our students do well. 12% getting first class honours. Almost half getting upper seconds. And I think that explains why our students have such a high success rate. Why we see so many of them continuing on to the PCLL, which is not easy to do, but because of this excellent track record. The course starts in September. If you go to our website, we do now have a provisional timetable. So you can have a look, provisional dates between September and December. Generally speaking, now it will change. Timetable will change, of course, during the year, but generally you're looking at 2 to 3 classes a week. We will provide you with a very comprehensive tuition package. You'll have lectures, you'll have tutorials, you'll have study skills seminars, and perhaps even most importantly of all, you will have dedicated revision classes. We want our students to pass the exams. Okay? We prepare you for the exams. Okay? We provide you with perhaps one of the most comprehensive tuition packages. And as I said, you can see the timetable. It's listed with the application form. We will normally teach you face-to-face, okay, at Hong Kong U or Hong Kong U SPACE teaching facilities. But of course, we don't want to stop teaching if something happens in Hong Kong. There's another COVID-19 outbreak. We do have provision to provide you with online classes where necessary. And regardless of how we're teaching you, we know how important online support is. Okay? You are guaranteed online support throughout the year. That's in addition to your classes. We're talking about you have the classes, you have the additional online support. This is a course in partnership with Manchester Metropolitan University. They will provide you access to their study portal. We have our own study portal. You also have access to that. You have all these classes being tailored for you in Hong Kong. You have more classes from Manchester. 100 hours of classes a year on top. And don't worry, you don't have to watch them all. They're there if they're helpful, if you need them. On top of everything being delivered in Hong Kong, we want to provide you with as much as possible. We will provide you with pretty much all the course textbooks you need. We will provide you with some e-manuals as well. Okay? We understand the importance, and e-manuals are available for some course books. Generally, you talk to our students, you will hear them say that we provide a very comprehensive tuition package. If that's caught your interest, you're interested in applying, please remember what I said at the start. This course is a graduate diploma. That means this course is mainly for those of you who already have a university degree. If you don't have a university degree, don't worry, there's still a path to this course, but it is slightly longer. We recognize Dr. Thomas Ng's course, the Certificate, Diploma, Advanced Diploma in Legal Studies. We recognize that as preparing students for this course. So if you don't already have a degree, or you just maybe want a bit more preparation before you join this course, okay, please go to the Certificate in Legal Studies. You can work your way up through that. Once you finish that succession of programs, whether or not you have a degree, you'll be eligible for this program. If you do very well on that succession of programs, we may even be able to guarantee you a place, which is a real benefit because this course is extremely popular. We generally get about 500 applications a year. We've already had something like 250. And we won't be able to take more than about half of those applications. So this is a very competitive course, okay? We are judging you on your existing academic results. We will also take into account when you apply. That's why, as I said at the beginning, not only is the application deadline only a month away, but we give higher priority to earlier applicants. If you decide this is the right course for you, please go and look at the website. Download the course brochure. Download the application form. If you decide it's the right course for you, apply as soon as possible. And please do check the application requirements. Every year, about 10% of applicants are rejected because they don't supply the correct documents. I won't go through them all today, but of course you can understand. If we are admitting you because you're a university graduate, we're going to need to see your university degree certificate, transcript, there are various other documents as well. And we want you on our course. We don't want to have to turn you away because you didn't send the right documents or you missed the application deadline. So please have a look at the application form, fill it in time, and I hope to see you on the course in September. And now, as I mentioned before, we have many great paths to study law at Hong Kong U SPACE. We're focusing on 4 of the main paths today. We'd love to hear your questions. Please do go to Hong Kong U SPACE Law and send in your questions. But for now, for the 4th path, I'll pass over to my colleague, Lee Mason, to talk about our new LLM in legal practice.
So, have you graduated from the PCLL? Are you looking for a cost-effective, fast and flexible route to a master's degree? If so, then the LLM in legal practice offered by Manchester Law School could be the one for you. There are many good reasons for studying the LLM. As I said, first of all, it is exclusively for the PCLL. You have a graduate, so you have to be a graduate of the PCLL. It's more affordable and reasonably priced than other equivalent LLMs in Hong Kong. It's fast in the sense that 2/3 of the requisite academic credits for an LLM have already been completed by virtue of you already having graduated from the PCLL. And it's flexible. It's designed to accommodate your work schedule. And to some extent, you do have quite a bit of time to write the dissertation. I'll come back to that a little later. There are some other good reasons to study the LLM. You have a wide choice of research topics to choose from. These range from English law, Hong Kong law, international law, comparative law. You will be assigned a supervisor who will be a distinguished academic or practitioner in your field of research, and they will be there to provide you with ongoing support. Manchester Law School is a very large, one of the largest, in fact, law schools in the United Kingdom. They have tens of thousands of alumni, and that provides for great networking opportunities. And they also have very strong links to major law firms across the UK and globally. And finally, upon successful completion of the LLM, you are eligible to apply for CPD points because the course is an approved course by the Law Society of Hong Kong. So let's just break it down a little further then. For an LLM, you need 180 credits. You have to obtain 180 credits. However, because you will have graduated already from the PCLL, 120 of those credits have already been satisfied. So that leaves 60 credits, and those 60 credits are obtained by the research methods classes, which are compulsory, but they're not assessed. I'll come back to that shortly. You will write a research proposal, followed by a dissertation, a final dissertation. So this is the only part that you have to do in order to obtain the LLM. So let's have a look then at the classes on research methods. There are 4 online lectures. These are pre-recorded, and you can download them at your convenience. Each one's about 2 hours long. So 4 2-hour lectures downloaded. It can be downloaded at your convenience. And then you'll also engage in 3 online workshops. They will be live. They'll be real-time between you and a member of staff from Manchester Metropolitan University. You'll need to prepare for those a little bit, but they're an hour each, and it's all about research methods. That's your tuition in research methods. That's compulsory, but not assessed. With regard to the assessed component, where you're being marked and graded, again, this is divided into two parts. The first is the research proposal, where you write about 3,000 words, and that will account for 15% of your overall mark. And then that's followed by your final dissertation of about 15,000 words. That accounts for 85% of your final mark. So this is the assessed. This is how it is assessed. As I mentioned earlier, there is a wide choice of research topics to choose from. There's some examples here. If something that you would like to research and write about is not on this list, then you can talk to us and you can make a suggestion. If we can find a suitable supervisor for you, then that will be approved, and you can do that. So at a glance then, here is the structure of the program. Remember, the admission requirements is you need the PCLL. You have to show that you graduate from the PCLL or the UK equivalent. So that would be the LPC or BPTC. Okay. So you've got that. The program structure, I've gone through the research methods classes, 4 online lectures, 3 online workshops. They're compulsory, but there's no assessment there. And then the assessed part, the research proposal, followed by the final dissertation. After doing that, you will then be awarded the much coveted Master of Laws degree. Now, places are very limited, and it's on a first-come, first-served basis, so why not apply today? And I'll just hand over now to Danny Gittings to wrap up.
Thank you very much to Lee and my colleagues, and I hope that you have at least an indication of some of the different paths to law that we offer here at Hong Kong U SPACE. Please remember again that these are just some of the many popular law courses we have. Okay, we have many others. You can see them on our website, HKU SPACE, h.hku.hk/law. Best thing to do is just to go and browse through our programs there. Okay, you get a feel. Remember, we've been around for 50 years. We have a wide range of programs. See which interests you most. We always welcome comments. Some comments coming in on Facebook. I will address in just a second. I'll ask my colleague, Dr. Simon, to join me as well. If you've got comments even after we've finished today, of course, please keep sending them in. And we're going to be happy to answer them after you've finished. You can always contact us by email at lawinquiry@hongkonguspace.hku.hk. Or give us a call. Not today, I'm afraid. The offices are closed now, but you're welcome to call on Monday, 2520-4665. And our staff there are very happy, always to take inquiries from students. So please, at any time, if you've got questions, we know it's a commitment to study law. We know it's about your time and money. And we're very happy to answer your questions so you can make sure you're choosing the right path to study law. A couple of questions coming in. I'll answer a couple of the general ones, and I'll pass over to my colleague, Dr. Simon, on some, I think, specifically on the University of London LLB. Questions on Facebook asking about use of Hong Kong U facilities if you're studying with us. If you join our courses, you will have access, as my colleague, Dr. Thomason, mentioned earlier, but on all of these courses, you will have access to Hong Kong U libraries. You will receive, as part of your course fees, a Hong Kong U library card that will give you access to all of Hong Kong U libraries. On some courses, like the LLM, your card will allow you to borrow books. On other courses, we can help arrange for a modest fee to upgrade your card if you want to borrow books. And that also can allow you remote access to library facilities, which can be very important. Okay? The access you're providing in Hong Kong U is primarily in relation to the library. Things like sports facilities tend to be for Hong Kong U full-time students. So you shouldn't be expecting to access Hong Kong U sports facilities, but you can certainly be expecting to access Hong Kong U library facilities. These are courses for part-time students. That's our speciality at Hong Kong U SPACE. More students study part-time law with Hong Kong U SPACE than anywhere else in Hong Kong because they know We design our courses for part-time students to meet the needs of people who are busy working every day. Under current government regulations, part-time courses are primarily for people living in Hong Kong. Doesn't matter what capacity you're living in Hong Kong, whether you've been here all your life or you've just come here to work. As long as you have a visa, you're allowed to live in Hong Kong. You're welcome to join our courses. They are not generally open to people coming in from outside Hong Kong. We do have people who want to come and join our courses from overseas. They apply for jobs or they find some other way to get a visa in Hong Kong and then they come. Okay? But under government regulations, if you're not currently living in Hong Kong, well, for a start, quarantine would make it difficult to come right now anyway, but under current government regulations, I think that was Ricardo who asked, current government regulations, you're not currently living in Hong Kong, you're not normally eligible to come here just to study part-time courses. So that's a couple of general questions. Simon, I think some of the questions were specifically on the University of London LL.B, so if you'd like to join in on that.
Yes, thank you, Danny. Now, okay, now I've got actually a couple of questions concerning the LL.B, the London Llb. There is a question about how you register. Is it okay if you sign up for 6 modules in the first year and then 1 module in the second? It's not advisable and it's not permissible within the program regulation. If you are on the graduate route, you can only sign up. You can only take to the maximum of 4 modules in your first year, no more than 4 modules. But after passing the 4 modules in the first year, you can do 5 modules in your next year. Okay, so the minimum period of time for you to finish this program, if you are following that suicide route, would be 2 years. It's not advisable, although we did make history several years ago. A very brilliant graduate completed her LL.B within 2 years with first-class honors from HKU SPACE. Made history even, for the London Llb. But that is not advisable. It is too demanding. It's just horrible. Unless you have all sort of support here backing you up, that's not advisable. There is also a question concerning the local, whether this is open to non-local students. Now, for the London program, I'm talking about the London program. The beauty of it is, one of the beauties is actually you can do the program without relocating to London, okay? And you can actually, even though if you're relocating, you can still, continue your study because it is a worldwide program, okay? Global program, what they take prize in it. Now, you can do it simply by registering with the University of London, but you are thinking of, if you are thinking of doing the program with some tuition with us, with HKU SPACE, our prep courses, according to the school policy, would just be open to students who can study in Hong Kong, okay? If you are non-local, I don't know what do you mean by non-local student. Maybe you are living in Hong Kong, you are not holding a Hong Kong permanent residency. You have to think about, if you are working legally in Hong Kong, residing legally in Hong Kong, that's fine, no problem. But there is, residency requirements. If you are just a tourist or you are living across the border, you just want to come to attend the program or what, it's not permissible within the HKU SPACE policy as well as the immigration law. I hope that would help. And I think there's also one question concerning the number of upper class honors degree graduates. I don't have, we have each year the cohort of graduates varies, the number varies, and currently I don't have the exact statistics with me, the figures with me. But last year, my impression, if my impression serves, last year we have 35 or 37 graduates, and I think more than 30%, my impressions, more than 30% got upper upper second class honors. Okay, it's kind of just like indication, but it varies. You know, it all depends on how you pace your study. Okay, some people would take 3 years to finish the program. Some people would make use of like a period of 5 years or 4.5 years, that sort of thing. That is one point I want to make. And also, I would like to remind you that it's not, if you register with us for the prep courses, it's not a whole recipe, a whole program. You don't register for all at one go, okay? It's independently, you know, if you can register independently, like you just do one course with us, that's fine to start with, or 2 courses to start with, no problem, okay? It's rather flexible in a way, so that you can plan your study against your other commitments, okay? I hope my answers will, you know, serve.
Okay, thank you, Simon. Please stay with me, because while you've been speaking, another question has come in about the number of years it takes to qualify through our pathways. We can talk about both of them, to being a solicitor or barrister. We're going to wrap up in a moment, so it's great to see these questions coming in. If you want an immediate response, please do send your question through now, because as I say, we're very happy. Of course, you can ask questions afterwards and we'll respond later. But if you want an immediate response, you've still got a chance. Send your question through now, and after we've answered this question, we'll be happy to take it before we wrap up. If I can still see it, yes. Kim Bond, thank you for your question. You're saying that how many years does it take normally as a pathway to becoming a solicitor or barrister in Hong Kong? Now, if you look in our prospectus, it's the prospectus for all of Hong Kong U SPACE. There is a map in that prospectus, and you can look at that, and that does show all the different charts. So that would be one way of doing it, but of course we'll try our best to Simon. If you're going to become a solicitor or barrister, you might decide to start on Dr. Thomas Ng's course and get an introduction, certificate and diploma in legal studies. But the core preparation, you're either going to do the University of London LL.B. or you're going to do the graduate diploma in English and Hong Kong law. And for those, well, you were saying you wouldn't try 2 years, right? But you might try 3 years.
Right.
You might try 3 years.
Yeah, I think normally people would take 3 years. If you're on the graduate route, 3 years I think is very reasonable.
So 3 years.
Yeah.
A graduate diploma in English and Hong Kong law is only 2 years, but if you want to become a lawyer, you're almost certainly going to have to do that optional 3rd year. So either way, you're probably talking about 3 years. Right. Some people will take, of course, remember you have the flexibility, right? If especially on the University of London LL.B, if you need more time, you can take more time. But normally you're talking about 3 years. Remember, that's 3 years part-time study. You can continue with your job while you're working, while you're studying part-time. So you'll do 3 years with us. Then you want to be a lawyer in Hong Kong, you have to do the PCLL. That's the only route. Right. Don't believe people who tell you there are, well, if you're a lawyer overseas, there are other routes, but no, don't believe people who tell you there are other routes in Hong Kong. You have to do the PCLL, and our students do go on to do the PCLL, especially on the graduate diploma in English and Hong Kong law, but also University of London LB. You have plenty going on to PCLL as well. Right? PCLL at Hong Kong U, City U, Chinese University of Hong Kong, we have students studying on all 3 PCLL courses. Mostly, having studied part-time with us, if you go on to the PCL, that's when you make the choice, isn't it? You give up your job and you study full-time. Exactly. Yes. So 3 years part-time study with us, 1 year full-time study with one of those courses, then you're ready to become a trainee lawyer, Kim Bong. So that's your most likely answer. 3 years part-time with us, 1 year full-time, then you're ready to become a trainee lawyer. Of course, you have to do traineeship as articles or training contracts, okay? However, there is also another choice. If you really don't want to give up your job, or you need the money, or you're still not quite sure, the PCLL is offered part-time as well at Hong Kong U. Yep. Most students do it full-time, but Hong Kong U has the part-time option.
But still day school. You can, it's not...
Some people do manage to combine it, though. We do manage to combine it. That's 2 years part-time, and that is very, very popular with our students. So popular that our students are repeatedly one of the largest groups on that part-time course. Our students go on full-time courses as well. But every year, my former students tell me when they're on the part-time PCL, they look around the classroom and there's so many familiar faces. So that is a very well-recognized route. And of course, if you did that, then there's no need for full-time study, although you might have to juggle in your job a bit. But you're then talking probably about the total of 5 years part-time study. Now, while we've been talking, so I hope that answers your question, Kim Bong. I understand there's one more question just come in. I think the simplest way actually might be if, do you want to announce it to us? Or?
Yep.
Okay, there's a lady here. Are there successful cases of being a lawyer in UK after 2 years of the graduate diploma, then study LPC in UK? Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you very much for that question. Remember, the great advantage of the graduate diploma in English Hong Kong law, that's also true of the London Llb, but of course the graduate diploma in English Hong Kong law is just more precisely tailored for the essential elements, is it gives you both choices. Remember, it's called English and Hong Kong law. There are other courses you can study in Hong Kong which will just prepare you to become a lawyer in Hong Kong. There are plenty of other courses I mentioned earlier, all these other graduate diplomas in law. Okay, they really prepare you to become a lawyer in England, but they don't give you cover the full range for Hong Kong. We cover both. Now, realistically, when you're studying in Hong Kong, of course, the majority of our students are interested in going on to become lawyers in Hong Kong. But certainly, you think about it, the graduate diploma in English Hong Kong law has been around for 30 years. Okay, we've had plenty of students who have gone on to become lawyers in England and Wales. Okay. England and Wales is slightly different. You choose. Okay, in Hong Kong, you go on to PCL. You could be a solicitor or barrister. You don't actually, well, maybe you are choosing, but it's the same course. England and Wales, different courses for solicitors and barristers. At the moment, for this year, entering the graduate diploma in English and Hong Kong law will qualify you to continue to either of them. Okay, you can either go on to do the legal practice course to qualify as a solicitor, which will still exist. Okay, there'll be changes further down the road, but it still exists if you're studying with us this year. And equally, you can go on to the bar vocational course in England and Wales to qualify as a barrister in England and Wales. So those options are available to you, and we have had many examples of students over the years. Even better, remember that I mentioned this course is taught in partnership with Manchester Metropolitan University in the UK. Manchester Metropolitan University offers both of those courses that I mentioned just now, the course for solicitors in the UK, the legal practice course, the course for barristers, the bar vocational course. Manchester, our partner, offers both of those courses. So if you decide you want to continue to the UK, you have a ready-made path, okay, because you can go on. It's not automatic, you have to apply, but clearly they will look very favourably. You've already studied with Manchester Metropolitan University here with us. You'll look very favourably on you continuing with them on that next stage of your training to prepare to become a lawyer in England and Wales. And of course, you're not restricted to our partner Manchester. Okay, you're probably fine having studied with them through us. You want to continue with them when you want to become a lawyer in England and Wales. But there are many, many other good universities offer those courses, and you can always choose to study with one of them instead.
Perhaps,
So,
sorry,
go on,
one real short note, sorry, Danny. When we say England and Wales, we say England and Wales, okay? It won't allow you to practice in Scotland.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that. We already provide more recognition. And of course, the University of London LL.B provides a pathway to many other, as you mentioned, many other jurisdictions around the world. And we should perhaps make that point. If you're focusing on Hong Kong or England and Wales, the graduate diploma in English and Hong Kong law is a very good choice. University of London LL.B is also a good choice, but both good choices. If you're thinking about Canada or Australia, places like that, you probably want this world-renowned University of London LL.B. It's not automatically going to get you into those jurisdictions, but it's going to get you quite a long way. And we have many experience. I think even Japan I've heard of before, and many countries, yes.
Not sure, but according to our experience, students or past students normally, they were succeeded in, getting admitted in Canada, California bar as well as New York bar.
Okay, please keep the questions coming in. You just go to Hong Kong U SPACE Law and type in your questions. We'll answer before we finish. And another question.
What is the curriculum for EU law for the graduate diploma in law?
Thank you very much. Very sensible question. And I'm sure that whoever's asking it hasn't escaped your notice that something has happened to Britain in relation to the European Union in the last year. Okay. Graduate diploma in English and Hong Kong law, we are preparing you for both pathways. We're preparing you for become a lawyer in Hong Kong. We're also preparing you, as that last question asked, to if you want to become a lawyer in England and Wales. And that's what's unique about this course, preparing you for both paths. That's why we must cover all the subjects that are required for Hong Kong. For Hong Kong, we add on that optional third year. And also all the subjects that are required for England and Wales. If you want to become a lawyer in England and Wales, it is still required that you must have studied European Union law. Okay? You cannot become a lawyer in England and Wales unless you have studied European Union law. Now, you may say, Brexit, why on earth? Okay, no, actually, there are good reasons. Even Britain has left the European Union. European law is still going to be important in England and Wales for many years to come. Okay? But regardless, that is a requirement. However, I think we're not blind to Brexit on this course. Yeah. Until now, even this year, the students have been studying European Union law on the graduate diploma in English and Hong Kong law. It's a full module. It counts for just as much as all the other subjects. Although I didn't mention in detail, because I was trying not to take too long when I talked earlier, you might have noticed when I went through the course that I mentioned from next year, or later this year, if you come and join us starting in September, EU law, which this year was a full module, counting the same as the others, it will become a half module. In other words, the weighting on EU law has been halved, okay, which is clearly a recognition, although it's still important, Brexit less important than before. And I think most significantly, I'm sure, we always like to avoid exams wherever possible, there is no examination in this subject. It's still taught on the course, you'll still get lectures on it, okay? You still have to prepare a final course assessment, but it's half of the other modules, and it's assessed entirely through coursework. Thank you very much for that excellent question. And I think that, well, we continue to, as I said, we continue to welcome questions. Please do, okay? We know it's a big commitment to study law. If you've got anything on your mind, just let us know anytime, okay? You can go to our website and browse our courses. These and other courses, a lot of information on our website. Please feel free to continue to ask questions, even after this is over, through our Facebook page. And also you can watch our Facebook page for news on future events. We'll continue to hold, we know you want to have a chance to ask us questions before you take these courses. We'll continue to hold future events. But if you don't want to wait for the next event, then of course just email us. lawinquiry@hongkonuspace.hku.hk. Whatever course you're interested in, any of these or any of our other law courses, you can contact us through that email address. Equally, one phone number for all courses, 2520-4665. So thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. It's great to have heard